do we even play number 11? Let what needs work to be done now, and I mean, just skip it.
Yes. It's grass grown. I mean, there's nothing that closing 11 right now would do to improve the conditions on that.
It might improve the attitude of our players.
Good job.
It's a mess.
Yeah, you know what, I mean, people are taking a change and driving down there anyway, so I mean, it's you gotta put something up there that says stay off. Stay off the fairway, okay, we did the same thing last Thursday, and I had Simon chase me around, I go, hey Simon, what do you expect me? I said, my legs are not doing well, I had to go out to get my ball, I put the chain back, but still, it's chained off. But people are lifting the chain, driving down there anyway, so I told him, why don't we just go to 19? I don't know what his reaction was, but yeah, that fairway's the best. I'd stay off, but
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me. I can see the point, people not wanting to drive, feet. Have to walk out there 50 feet max. But
What's the difference?
I think it's ridiculous to play the 19th hole. The 19th hole is not a hole. It used to be 20, 30 years ago, it was a hole.
come on, it's a par three.
But then we made it into an 85-year-old thing to a flat temporary green. I mean, I don't, that was
Okay.
stupid to say.
Any other discussion on this RFC and putting on hold? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Cool, thank you. All right, golf committee, I will defer to Miss Christine Gula. Oh, right, turn my mic on.
Okay, so we had our golf day on July 19th. And we actually had quite a good showing, which I was very happy about. Hold it closer.
Closer.
Hello. So Simon, you suggested that players download the NLCC app, and this will allow members to receive push notifications, which would be frost delays, hole closures, etc. Simon did say that our course will be rated in September. I personally would like to see that move to the fall, because playing during the summertime, it just doesn't play accurately, I don't believe, for us to be able to rate the course. Also, the USGA also has an app for 25 the most common rules that players should have on their phones. All iOS and Android users can download the free app. Another thing that Simon suggested I would like to see is that all golfers need to check in with the golf shop at least 15 minutes before their scheduled tee. If not, those players may forfeit their golf privileges for that day. And there, a lot of times people are, especially during tournaments, they'll have somebody else check them in. And there might be a change in hole locations. Or during regular play, if pace of play might be faster or slower. And if they're check-in 15 minutes before, that gives them time to get situated and to go out in a timely manner. Finally, the calendar with all the board approved tournaments will be updated as soon as possible, and a link will be provided so players can see the name of the tournament, the format, the cost, etc. We did talk about the 4th of July, the flag tournament, and suggestions and asked how that went, how people felt about that. The one thing, couple of things that that was brought up was to have individual scorecards instead of one player having the entire foursomes, since it is an individual game. So we will definitely make sure that happens next year, as well as photos of the flags on hole 1 and 18, and photos of players on the NLCC website. Overall, the tournament was successful. We had 80 players participate in this tournament. Our upcoming WGA MGA Eclectic tournament is going to be held August 2nd and 3rd. For the WGA, the format will be a 2-person scramble. And then our next golf committee meeting will be on August 20th. Minutes say at 5 p.m. So that was changed to, I believe, on Wednesday. Or, because there were members that were gonna be out of town.
August 20th, that's a Sunday.
Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wednesday after the finals.
Any questions?
Has the golf committee reviewed it all? I don't know if it's your jurisdiction or not, on changing the women's par for the orange tee on 11 to par 5 by moving the tee.
Yeah, so that's gonna be all part of the ratings that's gonna be happening. And right now, it is scheduled in September, but as I said, I think that needs to be moved to the fall. So that it can be actively rated.
Yeah, the rating committee, I don't buy it either, but the rating committee claims that they can do it anytime, under any conditions, because it's a very, like an algorithm decision box kind of thing, and it doesn't, doesn't matter what the roll is or what the rough is, or. I hear what you're saying. I agree,
I don't know if that'll happen, but
yeah. But I also know it's a not easy to schedule with them. Exactly what I want. So.
Christine, just regarding the app, just to clarify, you have to sign up for the push notifications.
that's correct,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, on the NLCC app.
Okay,
Yeah, and we're actually in the newsletter, we're gonna be having those links. Okay, so if you are able to, if you get it on your phone or on your computer, you'll be able to download, click that and download it, just to make it easier, as well as have the calendar. Also, in a quick.
Thank you, Christine.
Someone's phone.
Okay, sorry. I skipped some. Hang on, Jack. I would like to make a motion to approve Peggy Baxter as a member to the golf committee.
Second.
We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
He seconded.
Any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Welcome to the golf committee, Peggy. All right, Jack, yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Wait, do you need to say alternate did I not hear that?
I just said
Alternate
as a
voting?
member.
It's a voting.
It's a vote, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
No, but you're right. I mean, but
So is she,
is she an alternate?
she's alternate or just a member? It doesn't- I mean,
no, she should be a voting.
she's not going to be a voting member.
Oh, no.
So as an alternate.
You're also an alternate.
Alternate members, okay,
Getting in on there.
We're trying to get the NGA more.
right.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's
sorry, we had a discussion prior to
Well, you gotta tell
the
me.
meeting. No, just go with what I, just go with what I say. Don't worry about what's written down.
I have to understand.
All right, Jack, I'm sorry, you're up.
Hi, everybody. Green Committee supports the idea of, I'd like to not table it. I'd like to send it back to the Green Committee. So we've got it in hand. Table it, it stays here, doesn't have to go through finance, but there's gonna be additions with a year wait.
Right, yeah, no, we just,
So send it back to us. and-
yeah, we just want to postpone it and you guys can start over, I guess.
And to follow on the 11, the second landing area. That's a classic example of why during the season, it's always roped off. It cannot grow grass up here. Rye has nothing to hold to. So that's why when they water, it's so bad, we can't really drive on it in season. So part of our 5-year plan was this green this year. Next year, we were gonna talk about this second landing area. So this may give us an opportunity to do it as 2 projects. Not couple them together, but bring them to you at the same time. Because that whole bottom landing area, if you take a shot and you take a divot, you'll see the rocks underneath it. It's basically pebbled. There's really no dirt. And if you don't take a chunk, just use your dimmer tool, you'll get down there and pop it up and you'll pop up rocks and stuff. So that's a whole different project into itself. But we agree with the, well, I agree personally. I haven't been able to talk to the committee, but I think it's the right thing to do. So that's good. Speak a little bit on the well, if I may. One of the requests was to make sure we could get city water in. Eric, the team ran that down. I haven't asked about the metering, so we'll do that away from here. It'll save electricity and recharge costs, but it's not gonna save costs because city water is more expensive. But at least it'll get us extra water, because right now we're killing the second pump. When I was here last week, that pump was running when I started to play golf, when I went back by it after, and when I came back later on in the evening. So it's having a heck of a time, which doesn't help. There was some questions that about experts looking at it. My background, 41 years, is in hydraulic operations. Hydraulic is fluid, and that includes water, that includes wells. I asked Eric to include me in your guys' review. So I looked at the survey, I looked at the 1997 is when that well was put in, nothing done since then. There's things we could do for maintenance, it may have not helped in this case. The well bore is compromised, not only in the big holes that they identified, because they're looking for big holes, they're not looking for little holes. There are multiple failures in the bore from about 450 feet down to the bottom. The perforations they use is called a Roscoe Moss, which is a louvered piece of pipe that they put louvers in. That's the perforations that come in. They're completely clogged and probably not pushing much water. So we could have been cavitating that pump. Raphael was talked about it vibrating. That's usually not only the pump going bad, but cavitating means it's drawing air. So if you think about a straw, somewhere is the water level, below that is the pump. If the pump is strong enough to pull the water level down because it can't come in fast enough from the aquifer, it'll push water or push air. Pushing air and cavitating a pump does not help. The pictures of the pump, I would estimate, are 50% damaged. Pump's unused. So with that, the 1997 report is they submitted in two areas. Around the 500-foot level, that cements the casing in the ground, then they gravel pack and they cement the top. Water wells cannot really be drilled in the existing hole. It has to be double the size of the concrete that they pour around it so they can get it out. Then they have to put a bore down again, and then they fill it. Very uncost effective. So in my personal opinion, we're in dire straits here. It'll be interesting to see when the actual reports come in. But just to let the membership know, and you guys thank for letting me involved, this is worst case scenario for that well. One other thing I'd like to ask is somebody on the board or the management get on our next door at our MLCC Facebook, which is already up in arms and stating things that they're not sure about. When the motor was changed 2 years ago, nothing was done to the pump. So somebody said, well, we worked on it 2 years ago, we didn't do a good job. The motor was replaced. That's above ground. Somebody else stated in 2020, we worked on the well, pumps a pump, except it wasn't the well, it was the pump house. The main irrigation pumps we replaced in 2020, completely different. So the components for irrigation is a water source. That's our wells, a forebay with pumps to pull from, which is our lanes. The pumping station, which gets it to the irrigation, and then all the heads and valves. So why they are all connected, this is completely different. So as we move forward, once you decide what we do, well maintenance is something that I had brought up. Actually, to Phil when he was in there, something to think about. Every 5 to 7 years, it's good to go down there and they call it brushing. They put a tool down there, they spin it around, they move it up and down, they clean the purse. In this case, that would not have helped the pipe. What we did in 97 is we used the sub, I would say a sub bar material down there. Now you can't even get that material put in the ground, the state won't allow it. So whatever they do put in the ground now will be a better material, which will last longer. Still, maintenance is very important. So that's obviously for the ring committee, we were looking at the graph, what we're doing for the summer. That's really where we're gonna stay anyway, and that's about it. Any question? Hopefully that helps with people listening on board and gives you guys an idea of where we're at.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
All right, House Committee, Mr. Stark.
Oh, unfortunately, I never received the report or the minutes. We'll have to defer this.
Okay. Motion. Want to do the motion?
Yeah, I make a motion that we defer this month's meeting notes until.
Actually,
Sarah Stevens.
Oh. Sorry about that. No, so during.
Better with the camera.
Okay, I'm better than Karen. I'd like to make a motion to approve Sarah Stevens as a voting member of the House Committee.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Member Communications Committee, that's also you, Greg.
And I defer to our magnificent Chairman Sandra.
Thank that.
Thanks, John.
No, not sure.
There we are. Good afternoon. We're now in the doldrums, those of you who are away from your English class. Doldrums are the spell of listlessness and despondency. That's what they call July, but that's also what August is, the doldrums of August. And now that we're in the middle of that of summer, our committee just keeps going on nonetheless, looking for new ways to entice members to make full use of the amenities that MLCC offers: golf, dining, recreation, and more. One goal, working alongside the ad hoc strategic planning committee, is to identify those members who don't take advantage of our community, who never or rarely come to dine, swim, exercise, or even play golf. Why, oh why? Why, we're always asking. To that end, we are drilling down into the weeds to identify the non or minimally participating members with an eye to asking questions, evaluating information, and working with the other committees to offer inducements, enticements, motivations, attractions, seductions, kind of, reasons to make that short trek up to the clubhouse. Watch for surveys about MLCC. Participate. If you don't participate, it's like not voting in the election. If you don't participate in these surveys, you get what you get because you didn't participate. So we want you to share your deep down, strongly held feelings, your demotivators, your gut wrenching, meaningful reasons, so we know why. Then and only then can we improve. So we want to see you at our next meeting, August 21st, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. in the San Gorgonio room. No RSVP required, no cover charge, and no 2 drink minimum.
You have it.
If you don't have fun.
All right, Cops and Emergency Preparedness Committee, Karen.
Okay. So I had a meeting on July 19th, and it was a very lonely meeting. Had I have known, I would have co-opted Golf. He was very spicy after me to say, can I hang on your coattails and have a very brief meeting since all the participators are already here? And that would be my suggestion going forward, to try and encourage some participation. I mean, and I don't know if anybody, there's a fire app that shows locations of fires. I don't know if any of you are on it, but there have been so many fires in the local area. And just with the flooding, and I know we're not going to have a flood today, but I do understand that it was either the 90s or early 2000s. We were landlocked up here from bad storms for I don't know how many days. It was quite a few days, I've been told. There's just lots of things, and we need to get people to be block captains, or we need to, one of the other things is we need people to be prepared in their own homes. So I'm going to try and get as much knowledge as I can from Larry. The other thing I want to bring up is the CERT training, the community emergency response team training is taking place in October the 17th to the 19th this year. It is a free training. It's not for the faint of heart just because it's all weekend. It starts on Friday evening at 5 p.m. and completes at 5 p.m. on Sunday. But it is free training. It's in Palm Springs and it's at the fire department training center, just saying. So, I mean, that could be an enticement. But if you go onto the FEMA CERT training website, they actually have 2 certifications that you can take online. Just it gives you not a foot in a door, but some like pre-knowledge of what it is that it takes to be a CERT volunteer. But it's just too important in our community. We need to know what residents we have that, like, they can't put a green sign in the window saying drive on by. They may have caregivers, and if their caregivers out of town, how do we help those people? Our community just needs to be ready, but I can't do it. The wonderful board assigned me liaison to this, and it's like I'm going to be adding another certificate to what I already do, but I really need people to help me, and the community really needs people to help us.
Would you give me the information for those trainings that we'll put on the flyer?
Yes, I'll email it to you. Okay, so but please come, and I don't know if anybody has any better suggestions of how to have a captive audience. Just let me know, and golf, please consider, because I go to all the committee meetings, and yours is one of the liveliest. With a lot of participation, and it's like these are we need lively and participation. And even if you don't think that you're physically able, there are other things that you can be doing in the community. And that's all I have to say for now. Ready for me to shut up, Finey?
Thank you, Carmen. So what I gather is you're trying to get more female volunteers by.
I don't care if you've got a pulse and you're breathing. That's all we need.
Okay.
All we need.
All right. Pool and Rec Committee, that is Sue.
Mr. Baxter.
Needs me out.
I'll be brief.
No.
There we go. Okay, we're live. Someone mentioned about our rowing machine down in the gym. And I wanted to say that that machine got moved back so that it was a tripping hazard. It was very dangerous. And we had it moved forward in its proper position a couple of weeks ago, so that everything is even, and you have a safe walking space next to those next to the cycles. So that's fixed. Our project here, Eric touched on it quite a bit, and it's going very well. I will say that the contractor has worked with us and worked with Eric, because there's been a couple of glitches that we mentioned that they fixed right away. So we're happy about that, and I think the project is on course. It's gonna look really good. We have a block wall now that extends from the pool on down to the end of the project, and we're starting to encircle it now, with some brickwork. And then, of course, we have lighting, we have water, we have some things and landscaping to put in, but I anticipate by the end of August, don't you think, Eric, end of August, we ought to be done? And it will be a nice area for the membership to use for a lot of different things. Certainly beats the dirt and sand that we've had out there forever. So I think that's about it. I'm happy again with our progress. And as I said, we should be done in 2 weeks, 30 days at the most.
Thank you, Eddie.
You're welcome.
All right, Future Planning Committee is Mr. Brook, and he's not here, and I see Mark headed to the podium.
Yeah. Hello. Okay, you really only have 4 things to talk about for future planning, so I'll be brief. two of the projects are already approved by the board and that they're out at the county for permits. Two are potential projects that we're thinking about in the committee. The parking lot in front of the building, we finally got from the county some corrections. And that went to a mirror, who is the engineer working on it. It's actually, he's just asking for some explanations of how we're gonna build the retaining wall. That's back behind the parking area. You may remember that the board recently changed that from the original spec into stucco. So I'm anxious to see that one too, because I'm curious about the waterproofing details on the back side. But at least there's some movement as far as that's concerned. The maintenance yard office, it finally, it's in its final verb. That's gonna be permitted. It's at the fire department. And that gives us about a 6 to 8 week. To get the demolition of the existing building done. So we are gonna be working on that shortly. Potential projects, there's a lift down to the swimming pool from the pro shop. And it's been inoperable so far as I know since day one. At least I've been told that they've never worked properly. So I'm getting bids on replacing that. And while I'm at it, I'm getting bids on putting a lift system inside the building. And this is to make sure that the entire building is accessible to everybody, and including those with handicaps. And the last thing that we're working on, this is a long-term sort of project, would be to put in a 19th hole type bar down on the bottom floor downstairs next to the pro shop. That would involve expanding the footprint out to the current porches that are down there, and then building out onto the pad. Obviously, that's an extensive proposition, so it's far in the future, but we're still ideating as far as that's concerned. So we welcome any thoughts that you might have. We've had a lot already, including don't do it. So, and that seems to be the number one answer. And I think that's my report. That's it.
Thank you, Mark. All right, strategic plan ad hoc committee is Karen.
I'll do the report.
Okay.
Okay, the strategic planning, we're starting to heat up a little bit in that committee. The committee has approved what we want to bring to the board, for the board to approve next month, but we've come up with a mission, vision, and value statement. For the mission statement, it's going to be at Mission Lakes Country Club. We strive to provide an exceptional, inclusive experience through our award-winning golf course, welcoming, dining, and recreational amenities. When we bring up the award-winning golf course, Palm Springs Life has given us the award for best public golf course. So this is our second year for that. Our vision, we are dedicated to creating a welcoming environment where members, families, and their guests can relax, connect, and enjoy excellent standards of service, recreation, and hospitality. Values, our values are to, number one, provide a framework for continued growth and improvement of our community. Number two, respect all members, their families, staff, and guests as part of a thriving community. And three, and ensure fiscal responsibility to maintain the golf course and club facilities. So we've come to our conclusion, and like I said, I didn't get it on the agenda today, but we will want to present that next month to the board. Our next steps, we're still working on our objectives and to identify through our SWOT analysis. We introduced the SMART goals to help us achieve and keep track of progress. The committee is also reviewing the community logo. Maybe it's time to update our logo and branding. And a thought was to share with the community in this process by having members participate in designing a new logo as part of the contest. Not saying we're changing the logo, but we'd like to present something. The committee is also looking into a survey that would go out to all the members to help with solidifying the strategic plan. The next meeting is July, I believe it's the 29th, on Tuesday at 1:30 PM.
All right,
Question.
Sure.
I was thrilled to hear that we were named the best public I never heard that. How are we leveraging that
I'm
information?
supposed to hold off until September.
Oh, that's fine.
It's not public.
I did present that at the meetings, but I just wanted, where did that award winning come from? That's where you'll see it coming up in September.
Okay, because I mean, that's something we should be leveraging.
I was just told to hold off.
Okay,
Anyways, but I wanted to share why it was presented.
also, before we get to old business, can I make a request?
of course.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, fortunately, I was gone all month and I missed all the meetings that I usually go to. So in order to prepare, I went on to the website to look for minutes. And I know we have new chair people on a lot of the committees, and I know we, as liaisons, have a responsibility. I couldn't find minutes. Many committees are good at getting minutes out there, some are not so good. So I couldn't prepare to find out what happened this month. And I think it's important that we make sure that all of the committees have their minutes on there, because if we want people to understand and they don't come, there's no minutes out there. So if chair people, liaisons, we can kind of make sure that those are being input and sent to Madison so she can put them on. I think that's important.
Can I speak to that? Your minutes aren't approved till the next month.
They can be
So unless we
unapproved.
agree that we can put them on as draft, I do the MCC ones are always marked as draft with the blank space for, approved date. That is something that we could be doing, the same for the strategic, or for the ad hoc committees.
I think they should be out there as unapproved,
Yeah.
because
I see
then they're more timely.
Yeah, I noticed a couple of things, that do need updating, like committee chairs and the minutes. And I confess, I have 2 lots of strategic planning notes that I need to put in.
Except
And
there's
I'm
no
gonna
place for
put
them
my
right now.
outline, huh?
There's no place for them right now.
No, but I need to talk to someone about that. I owe 2 of those. Yeah, they're working on it, and I would like to put my meeting outlines in, because I think there's outlines the outlines contain
The
links.
agendas are supposed to be posted also.
Okay, old business?
I'll talk about the first one.
I think we're gonna talk about all of them.
Actually, you looked at me. You are the GM. So, installation of car charging stations, yeah, so, the vendor we're looking at, and they're looking to pay for the whole project, putting in about 4 charging stations out there. They're looking to get some funding from, Southern California Edison, so, he has not got back to me, but, he's mapped the area out, and they are gonna send a, engineer out here to take a look at it, but as of last meeting, that's where we're still stuck at. They're waiting to get some funding from Southern California Edison.
Cool, good info.
What's the location for the?
Right now, they're looking at down by the hitting cage down here. They're also looking out front, out inside the inn. But that would, we'd like to make that number B. I mean, our A would be the one by the hitting net, but B, we have to go to the inn.
Okay. All right, you wanna talk about the cart parking in front of the clubhouse?
Sue, about the pictures, do you want to talk about those at all?
Well, unfortunately, these came at last minute, and what I'd shown you were mocked up by one of our members. Unfortunately, I think what she said, what I wasn't clear as far.
Easy for you to say.
I'm jet lagged. Anyway, I think I wasn't clear what I meant as far as parallel parking to her. So the picture that she put through that's parallel parking,
Right.
it was like this, I really meant like this, so that really didn't come through. Now, she arbitrarily did the angle parking because she thought that was safer. And she even did one up in front of member relations, but didn't really have good dimensions, and said you could park 14 to 16 carts there safely. So I can have her come back and understand how we want to do parallel, not against the window, but perpendicular.
So head in, just tell her head in part.
Head in.
Parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can ask her to do that,
Okay,
but I think
Thank you.
I think we need something that's visual.
So probably my mistake, I sent her some pictures on that side of the building as well. So
Oh,
I said some members have asked for it down here, so I did take a bunch of pictures over there and in front of the here. I said, this is where they want it, but this could be a
yeah,
viable.
she did submit something like that, and I just, again, I got him this morning and I didn't get it.
so the alternate spot on this side to me is less safe because we're gonna have cars pulling in off the street. And God knows people do 50 miles an hour up this road, and who knows how fast they turn around that corner.
That's why I was saying it was a B.
Right, yeah, this would be the preferred spot.
But her depiction for that side isn't at all like this. It's actually going in like a separate parking area and not pulling out into the driveway.
Okay, alright, so we're not any farther on that, we'll be discussing this again next month.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to talk about the golf privilege card rate fee?
Well, if we're at the stage where we're at from last month and we're approving that going forward, I think. And it was, I believe it was fee, Steve, you were correct. Anyways, I think just coming up with a name or getting back with the ad hoc committee or this board or Simon and I just put together the parameters around it.
I think since you've talked to Wayne about that and what we should go for, I don't think the committee needs to reconvene.
Okay.
Because that's really a legal matter that we need to comply with. And that would be still like what we got from Desert Princess on the back of their disclosure and the legal, we need that as well.
Sure,
And I think that's more in your and Simon's bailiwick than going back to a committee.
we'll go for it.
Oh, I have a question. I don't know if it's. So I have a question regarding advertising the pass. It's like. Instagram, we want the people with the cash that are responsible. But so are we going to utilize the fact that we are a 2-time award-winning?
Well, we
golf
should,
course?
for sure.
That's public.
Like, because we need people to know, we're not gonna sell anything if you do not. Advertise it appropriately. And we don't have to spend lots of money because we do have Instagram, we do have the general Facebook page. That's just my comment.
But I don't think we're at that point. We really
No,
need to
when
have
we
the
get to
legal.
that.
So that would be a future
Yeah.
step for us all to figure out.
Right.
Can I ask a question
Of course you can.
regarding that? I think our renters might be interested in that and something internally going out them. But we know who our renters are, right?
No, if you don't have side.
Yeah, we know
We
some,
got most.
some here, theory.
Well, the ones that do it the right way, we do know them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, that's a good one.
Okay, so I have a motion here to approve raising the food minimum to $600 annually.
I'll second.
So any discussion?
The format, by the way, I mean, just procedurally, it's a motion to pass the resolution. Because we do, the food minimum is a board resolution each year. It must be passed at this meeting because it needs to go out during the month of August, sometime during the month of August. Because David Sterling not only gives a minimum 30 days before the period, but a maximum of 60 days before the period. So we have to fit our notice period within the month of August.
Alright, so we have a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion?
You're not discussing anything?
Well, you're gonna have to excuse me too, because I'm in a lot of pain here, cracked a rib.
Microphone.
Yeah, Mike.
Can I send up smoke to them? I'd mentioned at a couple of our board meetings that I understand the necessity of keeping up with our food minimum because everyone knows the prices are going. But I also asked to dovetail that. If you're gonna ask folks to raise the minimum on their food costs, there's an elephant in the room. Sandra just brought up a couple points. We know there are a lot of people that just pay the minimum. They don't want anything to do with it. We have folks that come up and then never come back. So there's a couple of issues I think we need to address in tandem with the food increase. Part of our strategic planning, it's high on our list. It's high on a lot of our lists, but there's gotta be something we can do in the meantime to improve some of the problems that we're having in food service. So I will not be supporting the minimum.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye.
I'm a no, you a no,
I'm gonna
we're no.
Okay, so 3-2. And we don't have Michael and Brian, so. Do what?
3-2.
Yeah, 3-2.
I mean, I understand why it has to be done. I just don't want to be whacked with that $120 each, and I know when you divide it over the year. Can you all hear me?
No.
Sorry. I know when you divide the $120 over the year, it doesn't seem like that much. But how much is it a month, Steve?
It's $10 extra a month.
$10 extra a month. Huh?
50.
50, so it would be $50 a month. Anyway, that's all I want to say. Which was nothing really. It's different.
We're good at that. Nothing.
We share a brain some days.
Okay.
Any questions, yeah?
Steve, Steve has a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Steve.
What is the primary reason why?
I'm gonna defer to Steve.
For the increase?
it's just to keep the food minimum relevant. Prices keep going up. It hasn't been raised in, what, 5 years? It's just to keep the amount relevant. We're going from $40 a month to $50 a month. Food prices have gone up probably, what, 50% during that period of time? Especially post-COVID. And so we're just keeping that food minimum relevant. F&B will benefit in terms of increased amount of unspent minimum collections.
Yeah.
It'll benefit from that percentage of the membership, which only spends their food minimum. We have, if you go through the membership, you'll see a noticeable percentage of people who clock in right there at $500 a year. You know, because they've hit their food minimum and they stop. Well, now those people will go an extra $150. The alternative is we raise dues. And I'm opposed to the idea of raising dues on everybody when we have some percentage of the membership that is participating actively in the amenity and some percentage that is not. I would rather isolate it against those who are not participating.
I think when you compare us to other clubs in the valley, that you're gonna find that our food minimum is on the low edge compared to other clubs.
Absolutely.
Like half,
Yeah, about.
yeah. Okay, so moving forward, new business. Eric, I'm guessing we're talking about A.
Yeah. Well, I can just start it up and we can go. Anyways, we've had some issues down at the pool, with different groups or even just with members going down member to member and all that kind of stuff. But, last weekend or 2 weekends ago, we had a member that rented out the whole clubhouse on a Saturday night. They were doing an anniversary party. Then they rented out the whole hotel room and they were down there on Sunday. They hung out at the pool all day, all the people staying in the inn and the family and everything. They're homeowners here that had this party anyways. A lot of things that were said about this family, slanderous and all that kind of stuff. They did have kids. They were playing and, probably yelling, having a good time, maybe. Hispanic family, but they were called names that none of us should be called at any time. It's just too bad, but I'm not saying they weren't out of hand, or they weren't, or maybe the kids maybe were running or doing whatever, but we had a lot of comments down there, but at the end of the day, when we're down at the pool, I put it in my newsletter this month, but you know what?
let's just be good humans, you know, let's,
Be
I
kind.
mean, they're not here every day. They're having a good time, and I don't think they knew they were staying at the inn. They thought they were just coming in off the street, but I mean, it was a party of one family and just a lot of slanderous things that happened, and that was too bad.
Yeah, and to that end, if any of us members see people that we feel don't belong at the pool. We probably shouldn't take matters into our own hands, go find a staff member and ask them to go approach them and ask for membership cards or whatever. Cause the last thing we wanna do is have a big brawl out of the pool. Because
Did we have a lifeguard on
definitely
duty?
could turn
You know,
out.
that's our
No.
biggest, that was our biggest issue. The lifeguard called it sick that day.
Oh.
So, and she's really good in this perspective, but it's too bad because it turned a fun party into sort of a,
Tarnish their week.
but then again, you know, there's two sides to it. I don't know exactly how the party was going, but I think people just saw this party going on or people hanging around and said they don't belong instead of trying to figure out what was going on.
Eddie, do you have something?
I'm just gonna say, you know, if our lifeguard calls in sick, we should have a backup for that position. Because that's very important down there.
Are you volunteering? Are we gonna get your number?
Well,
Indians beat us.
But yeah, I'm aware of that exposure, but you should have a WSI trained lifeguard on duty that's both able to guard the pool, but to take care of those disruptions. And it takes some special training, special individuals to do that. But that's what we need down there on duty, to just mind the storm.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, so we've already discussed the status of the well repair on hole number 3. Do we have anything to add to that?
You know, I put it on there in case we had some updated, just so it's on here so we could discuss it even more, but
Okay.
we didn't get any updated.
Okay, Peggy?
I just have a question. When we're using the Mission Springs water, is it going into the big lake or is it going into both lakes?
It's actually, it feeds to the lake on number 2. The lake that runs the two orange tee box.
What are we gonna do about the second lake?
No, they're intertwined.
They are.
They are, yes, they are intertwined, so you can get water to one to the other.
So I don't think our turtles can get out now, I don't know if they need to, but they eat grass and whatever too, they also
Maybe should.
other things, but I'm just.
We're doing our
You know
best.
me, I'm a tree.
I know,
person now,
but
and
we're doing our best.
I'm just worried that they're gonna get, it's gonna get too hot, there's no aeration in there. He doesn't have.
You know, there's that water goes in and out. They got fresh water all the time, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, cause the second one, the one by number 9 is pretty murky.
But they do flow back and forth to each other, so, yeah,
we're
so,
gonna be filling them
yeah,
up
and
with-
what we're filling in with Mr. Springs Water District, they just put a new, what's gonna say filter, anyways, they dug up the street on Clubhouse yesterday to fix the pipe for us. So come Monday, we should be able to start, it's only a 3-inch pipe, so it's not like it's covering a lot, but
Right.
we can run it without electricity and all that, and it pours in. Yes, we are gonna pay a little extra for that, but at the end of the day, to keep up.
Make sure our fish and everything.
right now,
Got it.
yeah,
You got it? What's the number?
We knew how many,
Huge.
our highest number.
Can you do me a favor and tell me what the highest or the lowest number, whatever? The last person written on the sign-in sheet?
What number is it?
Yeah, how many people we have on that,
There you go. We'll figure out some way to put it.
or the lowest number, highest number?
20? Alright,
Number 11.
number 11, who's number 11?
Yeah.
It's blank.
Is Blaine?
I don't know, I just.
Must be President Blaine.
Can someone look?
Hey, you.
Karen,
Yeah,
would you
yeah,
look?
thanks, Karen. Never mind, buddy. Karen's got it.
That's my golf husband.
Why not?
Oh. Wow.
It's Peggy?
It's Peggy.
Karen. Karen, it was Peggy? Okay, all right, I would like to adjourn this meeting at 14:42. Motion to adjourn the meeting. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Hey, thank you all for coming.
Well.
Good job.
It's not an easy task.
That's not my fault.
It's not an easy- Really don't. That's why I got started. Position. I don't want somebody.
Stand down here.
We don't have like.
I don't want anybody to do that. I dug it back up and needed it.
Cause I know it's not
It's
easy.
just loose laying it now, so you gotta.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yes. Yeah.